Chapter 8, Part 2. Tonight, though, for the first time, it seemed like his faith in me was broken. I shouldn't care. This is good, right? Maybe now that he understands that I'm no good at any of these things he wants me to be, he'll stop pushing me. I should be happy, really. I am happy, honest. The chicken, the only other one there, remained silent, being in no condition to respond, but it looked skeptical. Shut up, I muttered, and I went to the work on the tikka masala. It didn't turn out great. It ended up more watery than creamy, and worse, the botis were overdone. I hadn't screwed up the dish this simple, this badly in a long time. It seemed in that moment that I could do nothing right at all. You should have gone to sleep, Mom. Aisha Jelani marched up to me and took the Tupperware container I was carrying. I wasn't waiting for you. I was waiting for your food. You didn't eat with Dad? She shook her head. Come, sit with me. Can I just go to my room? I'm really not in the mood to hear about how much he loves me. My mother's answering smile had a little steel in it. I knew I had to follow her, but it probably wasn't a good idea to make her repeat herself. I mumbled a complaint and shuffled like an exhausted zombie to the dinner table. Mom remained unmoved by the display. She popped open the chicken tikka masala container, and when she got some on her finger, tasted it. Yeah, it sucks. Can I go now? What's your hurry? You'll have plenty of time to sulk. I thought I'd get an early start. Shaking her head, my mother went to the microwave. John, you're just going to have to make a decision about what you're doing with Renaissance Man. I nodded. Yeah, your father isn't wrong about one thing. Passing history is important. If your teacher is a big Churchill fan, Daniel, you can't get held back again. Do you even let you go into the school if you're 20? Do you know they don't even let you go back if you're 20? That was a really good question. Given my current standing in Tippett's class, it was definitely something. I should have already looked up. I sat silent as my mother cracked a frozen naan into two so that it fit into her toaster. I wasn't long before she was sitting with me, a steaming plate before her. On the other hand, she said, telling people truths they hadn't heard is important too. You're in a tough spot. This is not a helpful talk. Acha, Baba, fine. You can go to your room before you do, though. Do you know that Ahmed's father marched for independence from the British? Really? Oh, no. Sorry about that. He was only 16, but it was a great struggle of his time, and he wanted to be part of it. 16? My great struggle when I'd been 16 was convincing my parents to buy me a gaming console, which they promised to do if I could get my grades up. That deal had not worked out for me. He marched and starved. His friends fought and bled. I know you never got to know your grandfather, but Ahmed was close to him. He grew up hearing stories about the Raj. Safra Shosi, Tamane, Abarhamane, Dilmea, and all that. I don't know what that means. My mother sighed. That's our fault. We come to the new world and forget, I think, the old world has still things to teach us. When I didn't say anything, she went on. It's a poetry verse from back then that became like a slogan. It means the desire for revolution has seized our hearts. So let's see what strength is left in the arms of our murderers. Dark. Yes, anyway, I'm just saying that your father he's not objective when it comes to the Raj or Churchill. I think he'd really like you if you wrote about the Bengal famine. He just doesn't want you to risk your graduation. That isn't what he said. I know what he said, John. I was there. Why doesn't he believe I can do good enough job to impress Tippett and talk about the famine? When she didn't answer, I took a deep breath. I didn't want my voice to shake when I asked the next question. It shook a little anyway. Why doesn't Dad believe in me? Well, they say that Allah sent anywhere from 25 to over 100,000 prophets to make people believe him. That's a big range. What I'm saying is that even God can't get people to have faith in him. So maybe don't worry about yourself too much, I smiled despite myself. Thanks, Mom. Also, Ahmed is only hard on you. I groaned. No, don't say it. Because he loves you. Yeah, I said. So you keep telling me. After I escaped Mom, I went to my room and made things worse for myself. I started reading about Churchill. There really was a lot of information out there. I found out, for example, that he was bad at school, which was kind of my brand. He had a sucky childhood because his dad was sucky. I could relate. But then I found out he hated freshly squeezed orange juice and realized we could never be friends. What kind of person doesn't like fresh orange juice? Nothing I found, however, mentioned the Bengal famine, so I Googled it. Almost 500,000 results came up, a lot less than almost 1 billion hits I got while searching for Churchill, but still enough to switch an image search. That was a mistake. I was not ready. I wasn't ready for the complete devastation of that human form that was the famine. I wasn't ready to see what lack of food does to a human being. I saw it in black and white pictures, people who become walking skeletons and haunted, empty, mournful eyes. Their suffering was so raw that it cut me across centuries. I felt tears come to my eyes. Breathing got difficult and fast. I was not ready to believe that this was the world that had been, a world where you could count the ribs of every man and woman, a world